And that's a book written by Juliet Ibrahim. We are here for the Ghana launch. She did one in Nigeria, and this is family. So she gets to tell us how they feel as family for their sister who has the book. So she's cousin to Juliet Ibrahim, and she doubles as her PA as well. So let's say your sister and your madam has a book, and you see all the stars here to celebrate her. How does that make you feel as family?
It makes me feel great. I'm happy to be here because this is something we never imagined, or anyone out there would have imagined coming from Juliet. This book is an inspiring book. It tells a lot about Juliet, what we don't see on social media. I mean, we get to see Juliet taking nice pictures, traveling here and there, but we don't really get to know what she really went through before she became the Juliet Ibrahim. So this book is just a toast to life, talking about all her life experiences from the war. Let me give you a sneak peek. Now, from the war in Liberia to Lebanon, Ivory Coast, talking about her divorce. That's something you guys will be interested in. All these rumors, like things she's been through. Molestation. That's something I least expected. I mean, I'm her cousin, but I never knew she was molested by her own family.
So this is something that is actually new. Some of the things are new to you, even though
yes, it took me by surprise because you need to have enough guts to come out to say something like this because people will judge you. Now she's a celebrity, so just imagine the kind of attention this is going to cause. But it's all for the right reasons because it's going to serve as inspiration from women out there, you know, to come out and probably say what they've been through as a woman.
After the reggae, play the blues, blues, make you do as I do, I do. Enjoy yourself, baby boo, boo, cause even your boo get a boo, share the gala, share the booze, everybody wanna groove, as far as the money they pay, EBO pop champagne.
So Mimi Andani Michaels is a known brand. She's the director for the Golden Movie Awards. Of course, Juliet Ibrahim is an actress as well, so she gets to, you know, have her on her scheme. And so you're here to support Juliet.
Yes, I'm here to support Juliet. And writing a book is quite very achieving. It's amazing. I've been trying to write one forever. I don't have time. So when they're able to put it together, I really admire it because I'm in the process. So, and Juliet is an actress. That's my cycle. So definitely I had to be here. I was really sleepy, but I had to be here. And congrats to Juliet. I've not read the book yet, but the tidbits I've seen tells me it's going to be an amazing book, so I congratulate her already.
What do you make of the fact that this is a book that tells a story? And like I was talking to one of her family members, says sometimes when you tell the stories, people will judge you and all that, so people are afraid to tell these stories. What do you think about the fact that celebs are able to tell their stories through books?
It's great. For me, it's better to tell a story through a book and make extra money than tell a story to Mzgee for free. So then it's a great thing. So whilst you're judging her, she's making money out of it, and that's a good one. It's better than just telling a story without cash. So that's a business move, and that's a good move. I'd do the same, so congrats to her.
Congrats to Juliet, and thank you very much for coming through. And then we're going for the Golden Movie 20th
yes,
or 24th?
24th, yes. Moving pic, be there, see you.
All right, so get your passport and let's go for the Golden Movie Awards, even as we celebrate Juliet Ibrahim. There are some other people who are here. I've seen KOD. Let's speak to him briefly. Okay, he's with Sammy and Kuma when they are done. But I hear Juliet Ibrahim's mommy is here. And so I want to see if mommy will share with us how she feels like she's running away from our camera. Okay, so mommy is coming to speak to us. So this is Juliet Ibrahim's mommy. I'm privileged. I've never seen you before, and it's such a privilege for us to be speaking to you on JoyNews, madam.
Hi, I'm Juliet, ma'am. It's a privilege to have you here today.
And I'm sure you're so proud of your daughter.
Yes, I'm proud. She made me proud.
And you're excited that she's been able to table some of the things that she's been through in life in this book.
Yes, I'm privileged, and then secondly, I would like this book to go out in the world to bring up a lot of things in people that they have been hiding in them. So let people come out and voice out things that have been going on in their life.
How does it feel to be a celebrity mom? Your daughter is known beyond the shores of Ghana, in Nigeria, worldwide actually.
I feel great. It's just another thing.
So do you walk on the street and say, I am Juliet Ibrahim's mom? And all
Oh
that?
no, I'm me. I'm me. I'm what I am. Yes, and she's her, and she's my daughter, and I'm proud to be a mom. That's all.
All right, but now she talks about some of the things. I hear some of the things you do not know about, what you even heard that she wrote in the book. And did it come to you as a surprise, some of the things that your daughter had to go through to become who she is today?
Yeah, some came as a surprise, for which I thank the Almighty God I never knew, because probably if I had knew about it, I would have probably been in the prison by now. But I thank the Almighty God for grace and strength that those passes, those attempts didn't go through. And she survived everything with all my knowledge. So, listen people, always protect your children and listen to them. So that this same thing, history won't repeat itself.
Thank you very much, madam. And that's Juliet Ibrahim's mommy. But let's speak to Zinel and then the fine boy himself. Hi. So you're here to support your colleague. How does this feat by Juliet make you feel? Ladies first.
How does what? Sorry.
How does the feat by her, this achievement, how does it make you feel?
Oh, I'm really happy for her. I mean, Juliet is one hardworking, very resilient, a go-getter, and I'm so happy for her. And this is a very bold step, you know, to come out and speak about what you've been through. So I'm really, really proud of her, and I know this will go far and touch lots of lives. Yeah.
Let's hear your first initial remarks about the book.
Amazing. I'm yet to read it. I've grabbed a copy, by the way, so I'm going to start reading it tomorrow, and I can't wait.
Now, people have been asking, and when I came here, I also came in late, but one of the things I noticed was that her family told me that this is a story that some of them didn't even know. I'm sure you also weren't privy to some of the things you've heard.
Right. So, well, I'm not so much privy to the inside of the story. I'm yet to, like I said, get into it.
Okay.
But I can't wait. I'm very, very, very curious about it. I've heard so
Her
much.
own sister said that, she didn't know some of the things until it came out in the book. So, yeah.
Is it something you're looking forward to do as well? It looks like this is the way to tell your story.
Yeah, I mean, we all have struggles. It's been a journey. So, yeah, one day, hopefully, I'm also going to put it in the form of a book for people to see. And also realize that we always don't look like what we've been through. You see all this glam, but you know what? We go through a lot. But it's just the grace of God and our determination that keeps us going.
It looks like most of the time, these stories are told by women. The men do not share similar experiences. Like, it's strange.
Okay, so I think, we the guys also have our struggles, just that women are usually quicker to admit their struggles and come out. You know, women are usually very expressive of what they're going through and stuff like that. But I mean, we the guys also have our own challenges, and we have, trust me, sometimes they can be very, very, very suicidal as well. You know what I mean? Just that a lot of men are not so bold to come out and express themselves.
Including yourself?
Who knows? I just might be the next author, you know? I just might be the next author.
You want to share one of the struggles you've been through with us before you begin to write that book?
Right, so one of the struggles I've been through, it depends in relation to what?
In relation to your job.
Okay, so in relation to my job.
Else that's got to do with life that you want to share.
Well, it's always been about gaining that level of confidence to be true to myself and to accept myself for who I am, regardless of what other people think. Accepting me for who I am, you know what I mean? And going all out with it. Initially, it was very challenging, coming to terms with that and going all out with it. But I think with time, it built up.
The way you say who you are, I'm always tempted to ask you, so who are you?
I'm Harold Amenya, and I'm talking to Miss G.
I know, right? No, but Zinel, let's do a quick one before I leave you. You know, like I was saying, some of these stories are peculiar to women. Is there one that you haven't shared that you want to give us for free before you even write a book?
No, please.
But why is that so?
Wait, the time is not right yet. So yeah, at the right time, everything will come out. Please don't put me on the spot.
Let me not put you on the spot. So let's move to someone else. And James Gardner and Eddie Nate are also here. So let's take their initial reactions to their colleague's book. And I'm sure you guys are proud of her.
Yeah, I'm very well proud of her. I'm grateful she's been able to take such a bold step. It's not easy to write a book. Yes, I'm very proud of her myself.
James?
What he said.
I haven't heard that in a very long while.
Well,
what did he say?
Well, okay, I just want to say huge congratulations. I think it's good to sometimes not be too hard on yourself, sit down, reflect on the things you've done, and celebrate yourself, you know, because a lot of people out there, would like to know, and you probably wouldn't get the chance to speak to everyone as to how you started and the journey and how tough it's been. Because I'm sure she must have described in the book. I haven't read it yet. I've got it one. I'm yet to read it. She must have explained how she started the rock bumps and how willing she's been and how she still kept the fight ongoing. So it's good to speak to people, and I think one of the easiest ways to do that is through books, because books travel really far. So a huge congratulations to Juliet.
I've been asking everyone who is a celeb here, if it's something they're also thinking of doing. Like you're saying, the book will go far. You can share your story to. You are limited in the number of people you share your story to if you're just with a microphone. But maybe a book will go far. Like
me, I want to write a hymn book.
Why is that so? Anyway?
Oh no, I haven't thought about writing it yet. It's not something that has come to mind, but you might never know. I'm not sure if you had asked her this question probably 3, 6, a year, 2 years ago, should have said this. So who knows? I'm still pretty young, so I might come up with a book. I might come up with something different, but for tonight, we're celebrating Juliet.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. And you're a director. You want to adopt this book and put it into a movie or something? Have you thought about that? Is it something that came across?
Well, I haven't thought about that, but I think that's a great idea you have given me right now.
You should give me my percentage.
You know, I have worked with Juliet Ibrahim on my second directing. I did Sachet Romance with her, so it wouldn't be bad taking this book up and reflecting on it on the screen. Maybe we have to just talk to her. Maybe I'll talk to her about it or something. But
final question before I go. I realize that some of the stories that we get to share as women, and especially women in the industry, looks like they're peculiar to only women. Harold says men are difficult. It's difficult for men to tell their stories. I'm wondering why it should be difficult for men to tell their stories. That's if you agree that maybe the reason why you don't hear men talk about abuse, molestation, and the difficulties of rising in the industry is because you're not that expressive as women are.
I don't think that's the issue here. I think it has more to do with women when it comes to abuse. Women mostly are the victims. It's not like men are always going through that phase and they don't want to express it. I mean, if you weigh it, the options, relatively speaking, women are in a position of being abused than men. So it's very, I'm sure it will probably be a very little percentage. Maybe that little percentage won't express themselves, and I don't know why. But I'm sure if it was happening as on how it's happening to women, the word would probably have been out by now. Yeah.
For me, I think it's a tradition that men are seen as tough. Therefore, if you come and express how a woman has abused you, you'll be looked at in a particular way. I don't know why they haven't expressed, but that's my opinion about it. Maybe tomorrow I think a man will come and say,
you're a man, maybe you should be doing that. Maybe you should be doing that. But anyway, it's fun talking to you. Thank you, guys.
The Sobolo is kicking in. So.
Okay. If only Sobolo, truly. We do not know about that. But, so let's see who else we can speak to. All right, KOD. Yeah, I've seen David, and we'll speak to David in a brief. So Sammy and Kuma and KOD. So KOD, I saw you. I think I saw you with a panel.
Yeah, I read excerpts of the book.
And how? I'm sure some of the things you're new to.
I mean, I've been a big brother to Juliet since they came to Ghana. Her mom was just saying a while ago that one of the few times she would allow her daughters out was when they were hanging out with me, and that's the kind of relationship we've had for many years. Hence, being chosen to be the only guy up there to read. And there are certain aspects of the book that I never knew. You know, I've always known Juliet as a very resilient person, a very strong person in dealing with things that have happened to her over time. But then, this book's actually an eye-opener, and I think every parent should read this and also allow their children to read it as well. And for us as Ghanaians, there are a lot of lessons for us to learn from this book.
I see. Madam Samia, I'm sure you came in with us, so we came in pretty late. But is there anything you know about this book already that we do not?
To be perfectly honest, I haven't read it yet, but I have a copy now. I'm going to read it. I admire and support every woman. And Juliet is a young, strong woman who has something to say and who's courageous enough to communicate with all of us through her writing. So I just commend her for taking this step. And I want to see the day when our artists, our performers, singers, artists of all kinds and sorts, when our artists are part and parcel of what we call the African Revolution. You know, I want them to be ambassadors for African unity. I want our artists to be part of the change that we all want to be. So I'm looking for the day, hoping and praying for the day when we can somehow give out those messages of empowerment for Black people, for African people, through our artists.
So far, have we done enough? Have we done fairly well?
I don't think we've used our great talents to convey those powerful messages and those big ideas. But I think it's never too late. I think the time has come for all our Pan-African artists to stand up and be counted and join in that struggle, because whatever we do as individual countries, ultimately, the only way to bring back the dignity to the African everywhere, wherever they are, is for us to work together. Africa must unite.
Let me put you on the spot. In this dispensation, and KOD, please allow me, in this dispensation where it looks and people are saying that our tradition, our heritage is being diluted, and so it will be difficult for us to have anything to tell our children of what maybe some people like your father did for us and the others who fought for us, because there's been a lot of is there infiltration of information or dilution of information and all that? Do you think that in few years to come, we would know the essence of what was done before we were giving birth to?
No, absolutely. As long as some of us are here, we are some of the custodians of the great legacy of Osagyefo Kwame Nkrumah. So we will make sure that doesn't happen. However, I have refused to be part of this debate, because I believe that our father would have wanted us to work hard to unite this country.
Let me come in
We want to unite
Ghana. How can we allow dilution to affect our culture or who we are as a people? That should never happen.
Because we are not making the rules ourselves. We are receiving it. And in this dispensation, I'm sure she understands what I'm trying to say.
I know what you're trying to say, but why should you allow anyone to make the rules for you?
Well, because we are not by ourselves.
No, but
we are being governed.
Don't even agree. Yeah. No, hold on. We're being governed, yes, but we are who we are. Nothing can change that.
Yeah, I think
this conversation is changing, huh?
No, but I think
you're talking to two Nkrumahs here.
Okay.
She's throwing a challenge at us. I think you are throwing somehow a challenge, but we have to write.
Yep.
We have to tell the story from our perspective. But people like Osagyefo, they worked and died for the people of Ghana and Africa. So their priority was always the people. And the message I get from him is that we must work to keep this country united. He campaigned and worked to keep Ghana united and Africa united. And this is what we should be doing. So I've refused to be part of that debate for that reason.
Even when the 21st of September is no longer a statutory holiday, you don't think it's worrying enough?
Yeah, but I think, my dear, in all honesty, you see, our main priority is to deliver to the people of Ghana, to the youth of Ghana. You see, I think we should, every minute, anyone who's in decision making should focus on addressing the problems of the Ghanaian, because there are a lot of problems. You know, we need to focus on quality education, access to health, clean drinking water, sanitation, you know, beautifying our environment and cherishing our land and our environment, regaining control of our resources, our economy. We have serious work to do, and I don't want anything to distract us. The documents are there, the Hansard is there, even Ghanaian and foreign documents are there. They are all for us to see. I understand what you are saying. The challenge is for us to write the story, and we will. But for heaven's sake, Let not Ghanaians be distracted by this. We need to solve our problems. Let us focus on the Ghanaian, the average Ghanaian, who is, in all honesty, struggling.
Thank you very much. And quickly before I go, the fashion, the runway is RODR. Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah, so I didn't want to miss the word.
I know.
So we're preparing towards that.
Yeah, we're getting ready for that. 31st of August is a very special time for us as a people. Sammy and I were just having that conversation about her growing up at where we're having the fashion show. At the castle in Osu, and it's such an iconic place. So we're going to actually have her as a guest presenter on the night.
Wow. We look forward to that. Thank you very much, KOD.
You're welcome.
And thank you very much, Madam Samia Nkrumah. Now, let's go speak to David. Yes, before he runs away. All right, so Prince David Osei is colleague
this
to
JoyNews, yeah?
Sawara.
Okay. Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah. So this is what your colleague has done. You're here to support. As an industry player, is there anything you want to say?
Well, I want to say big up to Juliet. I mean, she's come from afar, and we're all proud of her. Basically, that's what I would say. She's a strong woman.
Were you here through the reading and the previews of?
Yeah, I was. And I actually bought some copies, yeah.
Oh, I see. Copies. That's a way to support a colleague in the industry. But the story we are here are peculiar stories. This is somebody you see get to work with. I'm not sure you know of these struggles that she's pinned down.
Well, she's a friend, so some of it I knew. I mean, going through the divorce, marriage, blah, 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 you know, being a single mother, taking care of the kids. Because we happen to stay in the same area. We stay nearby, so I know some of this stuff, yeah.
Are you hoping that she can turn this into a movie so that at least those who cannot read but can still watch, you know?
I mean, for a movie, I don't know if she want to do that, but it's really going to be cost effective. Because if she's telling a story of her true life, I mean, it's going to be too much for the people to consume. Or what do you think?
Well, I don't know. I'm not an actor.
I mean, people are literate now, so people can read. So I'm sure.
What was the percentage?
Is it in Ghana?
Even worldwide, I'm sure.
I mean, it wouldn't be bad to be in a movie. I mean, it would serve like an autobiography or something. Yeah. Sure.
I've been asking the men that it looks like the challenges that women go through in the industry looks like it's peculiar to, them. The men hardly talk about, how they got struggles, molestation, and all that.
No. I mean, in this world, the women rule the world. Actually, if I should put it that way, most men are strong within, and they wouldn't want to let their guard down by, saying some of this stuff out there. It's because of the ego factor. So most men would rather go through whatever they go through and be the man rather than come out. I mean, women are emotional, they want to share their sentiment, but most men wouldn't want to do that because when they do that, it will show that they are weak or
You're doing so well.
Thank you.
For the mothers.
Thank you so much.
I've always thought, how did this all come about for you,
So it came about when I had my son, and I saw there's a gap between here and overseas, like the prenatal care.
You had him here?
No, I had him overseas, but I had a lot of my prenatal care here. And I saw the gap, and I said, I need to bring something back. I want mothers to feel good about themselves, to feel encouraged, to feel protected. And that's how the Post-Pregnancy Bougie Express came about, just feeling good about who you are as a mom.
And I'm sure that you've achieved a lot now. You have sponsors on board and all that.
We have sponsors, but we need more, because as each year goes, we have 2 events every year. I want it to grow more, and I'm actually very proud of, even in just 2 years, what we've accomplished, and even the messages I receive from the moms who have come to the events. It's extraordinary, just educating them, and prenatal care is very, very imperative. It's so important, and I think that as a mom, you have to really understand what you're going through. And being a mom myself, I may not have all the answers, but I get people on board that can help. And I'm proud of the Post-Pregnancy Bougie Express.
We're proud of you. I'm so proud of your achievement. When I see the pictures, the excitement on the mother's face and all that, I say, this is beautiful. I'm not sure a lot of people have thought about it in this space, and this is your own way of giving back to society. So we appreciate you.
Thank you. And the last edition was a baby shower. So 150 women, they got to eat, have their juices, get educated, get gifts. And I always say that what I give back is what I want. You know, I had 2 baby showers here and in New York, and I felt love. So if I'm gonna have a Post-Pregnancy Bougie Express baby shower, I also want them to feel what I felt. And like my event planner, Amy, she brought my vision to life, because I don't feel like it should be lackluster. If I'm giving it, it should be 500%, yeah.
That means a lot is going out of your pockets then.
Yeah, the last edition was actually the most expensive, and I didn't expect it to be so expensive. But at the end of the day, as long as I know that someone else is smiling, someone else is happy, someone else will sit at home one day and think, this was done for me, that's all that matters. What's money? What's material things? It's about, touching someone in a bigger aspect.
I see. Congratulations once more. Now let's talk about Toast to Life. A Toast to Life, the book launched by Juliet Ibrahim. I'm sure you were here when they started the reviews and then people had to read and all that. What's your take home?
I'm very proud of Julia. I've known her for 4.5, 5 years. She actually was the first person that, she came to me and wanted me a part of her TV series, and she really trusted me, and she's always been so genuine, so loving, so caring, and to know that she's been through so much, and even though she's been through so much, she's still someone that is so genuine and happy and fulfilling, and I'm just proud of who she is, especially as a mom. How she protects her son, and she's doing everything to make sure that he's always okay. I'm just really proud of her, and I tell her every day, I'm proud. Even when I was flying in, when she messaged me, guys, you better play this part. She messaged me to say my event is da-da-da, and I said, I don't think I'll be there for then, and I checked my reservations. I said, I'll be there. I'm actually flying in the night before, and I will be there. Because she's just someone that, she's so loving, and you cannot be anything but happy for her.
And then let's move away from the book and talk about the things women have to go through in this industry. I've been telling the men that it looks like some of the stories, they never feature. It looks like the issue of molestation, discrimination, and when you have to carry a baby because you have given birth and all that, you're being sidelined sort of, by men and sometimes even women.
I think we need to just use our voice. I always say that. I think in this society, we're so scared. What will she say? You have to be vocal about what you're going through and not be afraid. It is what we are living. We all bleed the same blood. You get what I'm saying? So who's the next person to judge what you're going through, what you've been through? Be vocal and be confident in who you are. And I always say, once you're genuine, the universe will always work with you. If you're malicious, that's another issue. But if you're going into any situation genuine with a pure heart, there's nothing that can block your blessings.
Now, let's talk about your dad for a bit, because he's back in the news. First off, let me find out how you feel when you begin to read about your dad and the things you read are not so pleasant, even though he's no longer.
It's very hurtful, because at the end of the day, he's made a mark. At the end of the day, he's a legend. I get messages on Twitter all the time about people who are influenced by my dad, regardless of the highs, the lows. So it's a bit hurtful, but at the end of the day, I always know that he's always been positive. He's always been loving. He's always been caring. And yeah.
Did you get to enjoy him that much?
I didn't. I've spoken to you about this before. I was not even born when he got to his height, and when I was born, I was in the US. But I have family, his friends, my aunties from his side, Auntie Googie, that they always they remind me of who he was, So when I hear certain stories, I'm like, you can say what you want to say, but my dad at the end of the day was so inspiring, influential, and he had a pure heart.
Now, I'm asking because recently on radio, I've had some reviews about how your dad had so much. I heard that they said at this point in time, he had about $5 million in his account, and then he was down to nothing, and started, per what the person says, started pilfering and selling to make, he said he has stayed with them and was taking their stuff. Okay, let's use the right way. He says he was taking their stuff. Yes, your dad was taking their stuff to go sell so he can get money.
At the end of the day, my dad was very young and he had so much coming to him. So it is what it is. At the end of the day, he's not here to defend himself. I could only defend so much. But if you know me, then I think you can see my dad and me in the sense of like who we are as giving people and people with pure hearts, People can say what they want to say. They will talk whether you do good, whether you do bad, And I know my dad was an amazing human being that he loved everyone and he always wanted to see the best in everyone. And he trusted everyone. So people can say, I want to see those people. Who said what? But yeah.
Last one on this one. Is there anything from the stories you've heard about your dad that has made you cautious, has made you very careful that you don't get to repeat some of the things that he said he did wrong and all that?
In general, I think when you're in this industry, you have to be cautious and you have to really protect yourself and you have to see who really is for you and who is not for you. And I think I've learned lessons through him, obviously through other people, and in the sense of just protecting my circle and just being who I am and being true with who I am regardless of what people have to say.
Thank you very much, Vanessa John. And if you didn't know who we're talking about Kiki John. That's her father, and she said she takes a lot from him.
I love Mzgee. Thank you so much.
Check it out. Now you may kiss your bride. Oh, kiss your bride. You may kiss your bride. Oh, kiss your bride. Now you may kiss your bride. Oh, kiss your bride. You may kiss your bride. Oh, kiss your bride.
This is the newest author in town. I'm sure you've known her as an actress. You've seen her on the runway. You've seen her do presentation in front of the camera and all that. But what she didn't know is that Juliet can write as well. So congratulations to you, Juliet.
Thank you, dear.
First off, how long did it take you to do this?
Roughly 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah, about 2 years.
At what point in your life did you decide that I was going to write a book?
I've actually been writing screenplays because I wanted to do a movie about my life at one point. And then something happened about 2 years ago. I nearly lost my life in an accident, in a car accident. I didn't tell anybody. I didn't talk about
in Ghana?
it. No, it was in Nigeria,
okay.
in Abuja. Yeah, during I was hosting an event, and it happened after the event on my way back. And it just hit me. I came out without a scratch, but the car was damaged, completely damaged. The car, it was a Prado.
Driving?
No, it was a driver I hired in Nigeria to use. And the car was completely damaged. Everybody came out without any scratch, except for the police guy that was hurt on his head because he was in the front seat. But it just hit me okay, you've been trying to do this movie thing for God knows how long, and you could have lost your life. Nobody will ever hear a story that you want to tell the world, so why don't you just start something? So I spoke to my sister Sonia, who's a writer, and then she's like, you should write something. So the same way you write your screenplay, just jot down things, put down things you want to talk about, put it all together. When you're done, we can get an editor who will put it together for you, the way you want, and it can be a memoir. And that's how it happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so you scribbled down, and Sonia did the final writing.
And then I got an editor, to put it all together. Yeah.
So you've been doing this for the past 2 years?
Yes, for 2 years.
And I hear that you had to share a lot of things as your journey.
Yes.
You talked about molestation, you talked about the war in Liberia.
Yeah, I went through 3 civil wars, Liberia, Lebanon, Ivory Coast, while I was growing up. I spoke about all the experiences, how my family and I survived it, how it molded me, effects it had on me as a young girl who was about 6, 7, 8 years old. I spoke about molestations when I was very, very young. at that kind of tender age and stuff like that.
I told you.
I
told you.
I spoke about those kind of things that I went through and how I had to deal with them as a baby, basically, because I was about 8 years old when it happened, and I had to deal with it on my own as the firstborn of the family. And I spoke about going through sexual molestations, yes, from people who were very close relatives of mine who tried to. They would have raped me if not for the fact that I fought my way out of it, you know. And experiences during the war where we could have been raped, but things happened that just made it not possible and stuff like that. I just spoke about a young girl with so much aspirations in life, but having gone through a whole lot of bad experiences, still found a positive reason to stay alive and to become somebody and motivate so many people out there. That's basically it.
Weren't you afraid that you'd be judged? Because I hear that you spoke about your divorce handling and all that.
Yeah.
These are things that have been in the media space. Some people have, dealt with you in quotes the way they think that your life should have gone and all that. Weren't you afraid of the judgmental bit of it?
No, I'm not afraid of people's opinion or judgments, about my life, because we all have one life to live. The only thing I was nervous because I'm opening up to the world. I'm opening up, I'm letting people into my personal space, my personal life, my family's personal life. And I just felt very nervous, like, am I doing the right thing? But then I just feel like I was put on earth for a greater purpose. And if it's telling my story to motivate people and inspire people to be better in whatever situation they're going through, why not? So I'm really not afraid because I'm telling my truth. There's always two sides or three sides to a story, as they say. But this is my truth. This is how I saw things happen. This is how I felt. This is what I've learned. This is how I've used my experiences to become who I am today, basically, yeah.
Your mom said that some of the stories she never knew. She knew she would have been in prison by now.
Yes. She didn't know. I told my family I was going to write a book. I didn't tell them. I didn't want them to start judging me and saying, "No, why are you posting this one? Why are you talking about this one? I'm involved. Why you?" Because my family doesn't like to be in the spotlight. They don't like it, But I waited till I wrote the book. I give them copies that they should read. And they couldn't say anything. My mom was like, "You need to remove this part, so you don't have to do this one." I was like, too late, because it's my truth. It's my side of the story. They all have their versions. They all have their own part and side of the stories that happen. But this is my side of the story.
Let's just be on a lighter note. Was Iceberg still featured in this book?
Yes, I spoke about him just a little bit. Yeah.
You're not concerned about how he will feel because I know that he wasn't too excited after the breakup and the interviews that you granted and all that.
No, he's excited. No, he doesn't have a problem. We talk. We are cool. We are colleagues, And he feels like he's very proud of me actually for doing what I've done because he knows I've always wanted to tell my story, and I'm sure that talking about when he gets to read it or whoever gets to read it, they'll understand that I also give my very best. I did my best in all my relationships and everything, and I also spoke about where I also messed up and my flaws and everything in certain situations. And this is like a lesson for people out there because it's when you come out of a situation that you get to see that, oh, I could have done it better, I could have done it this way and that way. So I didn't go about attacking people in my book, no, because I also had my flaws. I also had my moments where I messed up some things, So I spoke about things. I spoke about my divorce, my marriage, and stuff like that, yeah, because I wanted people to get to know my truth, what happened to me, what I went through, because everything that was out there has been speculations. People don't know what exactly happened, what led to what, all those moments that happened in my life. They have no clue. So this is just me telling my truth, that this is what I've gone through as a woman, and this is how I came out of it.
What do you think that your truth would achieve, or what do you think that your truth would do to the people who gets to buy the book?
Okay, so what my truth will be telling people who get to read the book. I encourage people to read it because it is uncommon that you see celebrities and you just feel like, oh, this one has never had a problem. We get to live this life where we're always happy and smiling. But you don't know that people are going through a lot of struggles on their own. My family had no idea that I had suffered. My auntie was here crying earlier on because she didn't know a lot of things. And hearing and reading it today, she really got emotional. My mom even had to wear her dark shades at some point because they got emotional because they didn't know as a young girl I had gone through a lot of those things because I always put a smile on my face. I'm always like the stronger person in the family. They never get to see my weak moments and stuff like that. And it just goes to say that there are people in your families that are, and let's try and do stuff differently from as it was back in the day. So if people read the book, they'll be able to understand that, oh wow, if Juliet went through this and she came out of it this strong and this positive, I too, if I'm going through whatever situation, I can also come out of it and come out of it on top and be a winner. Yeah.
Congratulations to you, and we hope that we get to have a copy, and then as a multimedia group and all that. So this is the book. This is what it looks like in front, and that's a beautiful picture of Juliet behind it. Where do we find it to buy?
So right now it's selling at Cyrus Bookshop, opposite ANC Mall, at Kingdom Bookshops. They'll be selling as well. Then it's online. If you anywhere you are, you can order online. A toasttolifebook.com will deliver it to you. We'll ship it anywhere in the world. Yeah.
How much is it going for?
This is 50 CDs for the soft cover, and the hard cover is 100 CDs.
So
yeah.
Which is the hardcover?
The hardcover is a hardback.
Okay.
That's the hardback. This is soft back. Okay. Yeah. That one comes with 2 special back. The hardcover comes with 2 special, but this is the soft back, and it's 50 CDs. Some people like hardback. Some people like soft back. Yeah.
Congratulations once more, Juliet, and that's the author of the book Toast to Life, and that's how we come to an end with this one here on the Gist on the JoyNews channel. My name is Mzgee. I'm sure another week we'll bring you somebody else and something special. Thank you.
Can we go back? This is the moment. Tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over. So we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us. Can we go back? This is the moment. Tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over. So we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us.
Nah, can I kick it? Thank you, yeah, I'm so damn grateful. I grew up really wanna go fronts, but that's what you get when Wu-Tang raised you. Y'all can't stop me, go hard like I got an 808 in my heartbeat. And I'm eating at the beat like it gave a little speed to a great white shark on shark week. Raw, time to go off, gone, deuces goodbye. I got a world to see, and my girl, she wanna see Rome. Caesar make you a believer, nah, I never ever did it for a throne. That validation comes from giving it back to the people. Now, sing this song and it goes like, raise those hands, this is our party. We came here to live life like nobody was watching. I got my city right behind me. If I fall, they got me. Learn from that failure, gain humility, and then we keep marching.
Can we go back? This is the moment. Tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over. So we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us. Go back. This is the moment. Tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over. So we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us.
Makes Hips Africa different is that Hips Africa is bringing all the stakeholders in the beauty industry. We're talking red ginger, exotic, R&R Luxury, anyone in the beauty industry that you know of are all coming together. So we're creating an ecosystem where when you come to Ghana and you want to check, the status of the beauty industry, all you need to do is to pull up Hips Africa database and you have it all there. Now, what makes Hips Africa special is that all attendees also get to empower themselves because we have CIBS, top 100 business school in the world, coming on board to educate for free. 100 cities pass, you can come for 2 whole days. There are barbering competitions, braiding competitions, frontal competition, all sorts, and over 40 live demos and over 60 classes going on simultaneously in the 2 days. So the value is going to add to the beauty industry is, currently when you go and you click in to find what really how really the beauty industry in Ghana is doing, there really isn't hard data as in numbers. Now, what this is going to do is we're going to be able to actually inspire some of these businesses. That is why we have tied in with banks. So the unbanked are going to be banked. They are going to be able to now produce financials and actually be able to discuss the kinds of numbers. Because globally, the beauty industry is in the billions. Now, Africa are consumers. They are basically most of the consumers of these beauty products. So it's about time that we own that industry. It's about time that we control it. It's about time that we promote made in Ghana products. That's why we have so many shea butter companies coming on board, because it's about time we support our own and grow the economy.
In beauty shows, beauty events, outside Ghana, outside Africa, but there hasn't been one that is for us, and for Africa, we have a lot of companies that are manufacturing beauty products and, are also, are into hair products and skin products. I mean, the whole beauty industry in Africa has been overlooked. So we are seeing this as an opportunity to bring everyone together. So in that way, we are powerful enough to push our own brands outside the world. Outside Africa, actually. 5 years from now, Hips Africa is supposed to be everywhere. The idea is to start in Ghana, but Hips Africa is supposed to be global. Hips Africa is supposed to be organized in South Africa, in Nigeria, in Gabon. It's supposed to be, all over Africa and even outside Africa to project the African beauty brands. That's how I see Hips Africa. It's bigger than us. It's bigger than all of us. And to see all these beautiful people, all these beautiful companies in one room, this is just overwhelming. And we can't wait for the main event on the 7th and the 8th of September.
Hips Africa is something we can't exempt ourselves from, because it's like little businesses, big businesses, regardless, coming together to project Africa as a whole. So we are seeing this in the bigger picture. And like I said earlier, it's impossible for us not to support. We are not only supporting, we are participating as well. So Hips Africa is here to stay. Hips Africa to the world. Let's help push it, not only for Ghana per se, but for Africa as a whole. So I think everyone, individuals, entrepreneurs, businesses that want to thrive, to go to the diaspora and beyond, should come on board with Hips Africa. Let's spread the word so this can be bigger than we expected. I'm expecting, acquaintances. I'm expecting businesses to expand. I'm expecting collaborations. You never know, businesses might come together and grow bigger, because what's hindering the business sector is those in the similar lines, like a hairdresser and a hairdresser, would like to compete rather than come together. But Hips Africa is bringing something different. Wants all of us to come together so we can push the whole business industry. So I think it's something that we can support to push the Africa as a continent further. That's what I think, basically. Yeah.
And Hips Africa is going to be amazing on the 7th and 8th of September. You guys have to be there. Come and see Studio 7. Let us show you everything you need to know about hair, about wigs, how to keep your wigs staying amazing. Guys, you don't want to miss this. We have so much to offer. Okay, so there's going to be amazing live installs, hair installations from Studio 7 Beauty Lounge. There's going to be discounts. There's going to be coupons. Our services are going to be discounted. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on any of that.